Well, hello there, YouTube. Once again, another rather cool day. It's 2 degrees warmer today. It's 31 degrees instead of 29. Still beautiful. I love that look looking out there. Somebody even said that I should make a poster out of that or something. I'd be all thinking about that in my photog days. Sachi Annie? All right, it's hump day. We're heading for the flip side of the week. Woman.
Yes, honey.
She goes, hurry, I'm freezing. What's wrong with you? You think it's freezing? Oh, wait a minute, it is freezing outside.
It is, bugger.
All right, let's head to the Southland.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
I'll see you there.
I see you there. You have a good trip.
All righty. Let's see if we can get you a shot of Mount Hood back there. Look at her. She's just a shining out there. The little woman, once again, couldn't make it.
I saw I had to go.
Boys out here doing construction on the dump station area.
Yep, they're fine-tuning.
It's gonna be fancy, isn't it? Looks like he's doing some instructional stuff.
Hey, I know one of them does. He's a customer.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It's a small world. There's
It is.
Looks like a boondocker right there.
There we go.
You can see all the people that camping out here got their window shades going on. Boy, that poor old van, she's seen better days.
Yeah, she has.
Jets are flying over, Mama.
Yes, they
When you hear them loud like that, that's usually the military jets taking off out of the Oregon Air National Guard.
Yep.
Nice to know they're close by.
No kidding.
Should poop hit the fan.
Yeah.
All right. Have yourself a wonderful hump day.
You too, Bubba.
And I'll see you when I come up to get a cup of coffee.
All right.
And we'll just have a work day.
I love
All right. See you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I love how that side-by-side comes in that car cover thing like that. Isn't that cool as heck? Okay, the folks at BMW replied to my T-Sera case. And he says with those miles, what kind of fuel is he running? How does he ride it? And he wanted to know if the airbox had any oil in it, or if there was the crankcase breather, which hose is completely dry. You can look down with a flashlight. And he wanted to know if there's any signs of pre-valve, in other words, valve guide, valve seal leakage. And there's no sign of that. And all but number 2 cylinder, the valves are shut, or mostly shut. I don't have the timing cover off to look. But anyway, there's no sign of galling. The valve guides, the valve stems are dry. And that one cylinder, number 2, which is open, there's a lot of washing on the piston. The piston is just really clean. So what he wants us to do is use this fancy fang-dangled fuel injection cleaning system. And he says that will clean them valves off. And also, it'll clean all 8 of the injectors. This is the throttle body injectors. That's the secondary in the airbox. So we received this thing almost a year ago. And this is the first case where we've actually needed it to use it. And but we have no instructions. I was the one that opened the box. Our shipping and receiving gal says, this is a special tool. This is for you. So I'm gonna see if he can send me some instructions. So back and forth with BMW. I even spoke to the customer. The injector kit. The guy at BMW, although he made me search for it, they only give you pieces of information. They want you to work for everything. And so I have the instructions, how it all works. There's really nothing to it. And we even had the chemical stuff. The funny thing is that's industrial use only. That is not for customers, because that's only to be used in a tool. It was a case of 12. All 12 bottles were sitting on the shelf in the customer area. Now this is the customer added thing. So this runs through it, and it will clean within 15 to 18 minutes, the valves and the injectors will be clean. And then, which is easy, you top the tank off. That one's already full. So we'll dose that. I'll give him the rest of the bottle. It's just a basically like a system cleaner from BMW. Boy, do they have a whole spiel of, I'm telling you, OEM stuff. These guys do not mess around. That is not a rebadged something else. But anyway, so essentially the bike was running perfect. As long as I don't reach in there and jostle any of that stuff around, I'm safe to do the valves. And he said, if by chance you got a whole bunch of loose intakes or anyone that's unusual, he goes, it should pretty much, if he's been bringing it to you and you've been using the BMW oils, keeping the stock, all the stuff that I preach, the BMW guys tell me, the valves should be right where they were 18,000 miles ago the last time you inspected them, which they were dead center in the specs. He only has us do the service on this thing, and it's at 37 now. So anyway, and then kind of confusing. It made it sound like there's some scheduled time that I should be doing this. He was surprised that we've had this kit this long and I haven't been selling it to people and doing it. I go, well, there's no schedule for doing a fuel injection cleaning thing on there. Oh yeah, you need to do that. He goes, with the miles and stuff on that, you should have already done that. This should be the second time you're doing it. Again, there's no schedule for that. But at any rate, we're going to do it. It'll clean him up. Like I said, the valves should be pretty much right where they were before. He goes, you know, because he can see on the computer that we've done all the services because all that gets recorded at BMW. We used to have access to that. Like if you bought a used bike, we could see all the service schedules on it. But that's considered private information for the customer only. So all we can see is warranty claims that were filed. We can't see the service records, even though they are being recorded. And that's another thing about doing, I'm not telling you you have to go to a dealer, but one of the benefits are BMW sees that you've done it, and when we sell the parts to it, there's a thing that gets sent up. They know that we use BMW parts and it was done correctly by an authorized dealer. And boy, does that pay off huge later on down the road should you have an issue. They are really very kind and very helpful. You don't have to do it. You don't have to use their stuff. But in the long run, you spend that much money on that high-tech, high-performance machine. Why would you not take the best care of it? That I've been doing this for a long time, and that's just been a thing. And then things wear out and break, and they go, but why? But why? It shouldn't have. Well, you didn't follow the rules. And now you're paying for it. Anyway, I don't want to get into another one of them discussions, but so essentially that buildup on there is just normal. And the reason it's getting worse quick in the last 18,000 miles since he was in here the last time for the valve adjustment is just different places, not going to top tier or tier 1 fuel stations. He travels a lot on this thing. He goes, yeah, I hit some shady places sometimes. It started by the injectors are not performing perfectly. And when that happens, basically the computer's freaking out and it's like over fueling at times. Or just the fueling is not efficient. And even though he doesn't notice a drivability issue, things are going on. But essentially, it's no harm, no foul. You run the cleaner through it, and it cleans the injectors, so that's all going to be working perfect. His valves are going to be clean, so we don't have to worry about most of those things. They look like more of oil deposits than carbon, which would be a sign of improper fuel. It's, you know, essentially washing some of the fuel off, and it's back flushing up in there on valve overlap. And all motorcycles nowadays pretty much have valve overlap, which means the intake opens just before the exhaust closes. So the exhaust is flowing. So it's like a poor man's turbo. So the exhaust is in motion because the exhaust, the pistons, you know, it's coming up and it's about to go and finish the exhaust stroke. So for a brief moment, as the exhaust is closing, the intake slightly opens, so it's taking advantage of that purging from the exhaust and creating a little bit of a suction that makes for very, very efficient fueling. That was an old race trick way back when. Now it's that's been going on so long now, it's just like standard procedure. But that was an old race trick back in the days. Valve overlap. So at one moment, both valves are open at the same time. Barely. But anyway, in that moment, if things aren't fully cleaned and the exhaust isn't just getting rid of spent fuel, that brief moment that the intake opens, any junk that's in here can backflush. That's why you see that little bit of splatter in the intake track. And anyway, all that's going to be cured. It's no big deal. And I've already talked to the customer. He's totally cool. Explained to him all the stuff that I told you and a whole lot more. And he's happy. I'm happy. It scared me. I hope I didn't scare him last night when I called him, but he's cool. He goes, things happen. But turns out it's no big deal. Just needs a good old flush with the BMW kit here. And one of our guys worked at car stores, and this is common. They actually sell that as a service at car stores. And it's essentially the same principle as this. So for about 15 to 18 minutes, it's going to run off of pressure. There's going to be 150 milliliters plus 400 milliliters of fresh fuel. Gets put in the cylinder. It's going to be pressurized, and the bike is going to run. This is going to be the fuel pump and fuel for about 15 to 18 minutes. And at the end of that, it's clean. Works good. Really bunch of warning stuff on that, gloves and fresh air and all that kind of good stuff. Anyway, babbling on. I'm gonna let you go. Little woman.
Yes, little man.
Again, you didn't pay that weather bill because now it's raining out there.
I know.
And I don't know if you know this or not, but I got alerts for I can drive. I promise I can.
No, you can't, you guys.
You gotta figure out where the R is. But do you ever do that? You think you're in drive or reverse, and you give your car the good old rev bomb free rev?
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, and people turn around looking.
You're all embarrassed.
Yeah.
Good stuff like that. Yep.
What a knucklehead.
Knucklehead.
Anyway, we're under all kinds of crazy flood watch. Not flood watch, flood warning.
That's because it's supposed to waylay.
Yeah, it's supposed to waylay from 10 p.m. tomorrow night until 10 p.m. Sunday night. So that kind of tells me there ain't gonna be no rides happening this weekend. If I do, it's gonna be a wetsuit or riding gear test ride.
I think so.
We're gonna test the waterproofness of all my gear. Every once in a while, you need to know if it really works.
Say it works. Let me test it.
Yep. Anyway, we gotta hit Walmart's right quick. My favorite ink pens. Well, Mama, unfortunately, the rains have settled in on us.
They have. It's raining.
Yep. It's sparkling all over the place.
Yep. I'm afraid we're not going to see sunshine for a while.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit.
Yep.
We're gonna get some flood action now.
Yep.
I'll have a whole nother thing to film.
I'm not. We will have new things to complain about.
If we do get some crazy floods, we'll have to take the old Beamer out, just dress up,
Yeah.
and just chuck all caution to the wind and go check out the flood stuff.
Yeah. And get all wet and dirty.
All right, Mama.
All right.
Let's head north.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, hello there, YouTube. I started to say hello before and just like cough, cough, cough.
You went into a coughing
Yeah,
fit.
it's like, good Lord. Swallowed or choked on my own saliva or something. I don't know what it was. It just didn't come out.
You gotta watch that air. You choke on it sometimes.
Yeah, that air will get you.
Mm-hmm. I trip on it too.
So it just started pouring about the halfway here. It was starting to rain there in Woodland. Man, coming down. Of course, now I'd say something that stops, but so we're going this wasn't supposed to start till 10. I go, wait a minute. The floods are at 10 o'clock tomorrow night.
Yeah,
it's going to take a lot of rain to get to the flood stage.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, it ought to be a nasty son of a gun tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be yucky.
I can only reckon.
Yep.
Man. So, sorry about the second day tech talk on the BMW. I don't know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow because I'm going to be on that BMW again. There's a lot of dead time speaking with customers and people that come in and say hey, and speaking with BMW. That was all time not spent on the BMW.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll be ripping hard and heavy into it tomorrow. Get it all finished up for him. And it'll be interesting. I'm thinking about that injector cleaner. I don't think it has the right fittings for Harleys and stuff, but I was thinking, you know, the old iron, it'd be nice to just give her a flush. I don't know what all's in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I peek down with a little mirror. Always pull the airbox off and make sure nothing made it through when I wash them, you know. And just the lightest little amount of carbon on it, probably just a dose of some kind of treatment would clear it out. She's got about 10,000 miles on it, mostly putting around. Maybe I need to go out there and flog on her a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you ought to get on it and flog it.
My toy's warm.
Yeah. Anyway, we got a bunch of frozables. Go in for dog food and an ink pen, and I don't even want to know. She paid
And it
for
was his fault.
Man.
That is very bright.
Yeah,
when the dogs turn
I
on
put
the light.
new lights over there, and that's bright.
That is very bright, and then the rain is like making it magnified.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll roll on you.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up, and you guys have a wonderful Thursday or Friday.
Heck yeah. All right.
Alright.
Made it through hump day.
We did.
Look at Sparky standing out of the rain over there.
Oh,
He's up there
he's so
leaning up
cute.
against the old green truck.
Because I staying over here.
He's such a good dog.
He is. He's so sweet. He
He's a little
loves
bit of
to
a
give you
junk
kisses.
collector, but
Yeah,
That's
he's
all right.
a junk collector. He's
crazy
a
dog.
gatherer.
Yeah, he does
Yeah.
gather. He has his little piles. It's out here in the driveway now. It was in the front yard
Yeah.
in the summer. He's such a nut.
He
Anyway,
is out.
that's it. We're out.
All right.
All right.
Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Bye-bye now.